We were the Blue String Cheese Band for a minute, but we thought that name just sounds dumb. Why don't we become the String Cheese Incident? Well, I don't know if there was anything gained there, but we've been working with that moniker ever since, and here we are.
The three of us did happy hours to start, three-piece happy hours and playing in the lift lines and, you know, a little bit of busking in Crested Butte on the street when it was warm enough to do so. But yeah, three of us, that was it. And Trav as a four-piece in the very beginning.
In '93, I had been a ski bum in Telluride for 12 years, had 12 season passes, and I thought, I'm gonna have one last year of being a ski bum before I get my shit together.
I had known them all before except for Billy, but I'd played with Keith and Kang in different configurations before, especially Kang. And so they're like, oh, this guy's great. He's gonna come back from working for the Forest Service, which I did every summer. And it's gonna be a great fit. We're gonna blast, and it was.
We picked up a gig, I believe it was a talent show at the Crested Butte Performing Arts Center. And we had like a 4-song slot and we played. It just had a different feel to it.
Many bands start like in the same musical pit of like love of music, and ours was love of skiing and hiking and stuff. So it was kind of like a different framework. That was the configuring force. That's why we were all in Crested Butte. It's because nature.
Slowly, the vibe, you know, kind of grew, and I was in my 20s. Billy was in his early 30s. We were all just footloose and fancy free. A lot of us had like separate jobs, or like, you know, Travis and Keith were still going up into Oregon to like do blasting tops of trees for the Forest Service.
Well, in the beginning, it was us in the van and the trailer, and we booking ourselves. And, you know, a good night was when we made $500 and got a meal.
So we had a couple of years where we would tour around, go out to Moab, down to Durango, Telluride, Crested Butte, you know, and we would always just have play the shows, and we'd bring our bikes, or we'd bring climbing gear or ski, something like that, you know. Yeah. But '95 was the year we decided, hey, this is a kind of a special thing. Let's go for it.
We just kind of kept going, and then at one point we kind of decided that we needed to move to the Front Range to really give it more of a shot, because like it was kind of limited access of things that we could do in the ski towns. And pretty much soon after that, we got our first East Coast tour booked. And then from that point on, it was like, you know, 24/7 on the bus for like the next 10 years.
Actually, my band, Dirt, opened for String Cheese, and Kang said, hey, do you want to come sit in? And I've been sitting in ever since with String Cheese, which is great.
Connecting the dots on tour, a lot of ski towns and such. Got with Madison House, got some management representation, and they started booking us. I started hitting some festivals, and that's when we were kind of the perfect storm of a festival band.
And then the next few years we played a multitude of shows just trying to build up a fan base. But yeah, that's kind of how it all got started. It was kind of accidental.
There's not like an official like sort of joining point. It's just kind of like, you know, all happened eventually, and I was just more and more a member of the band. It's pretty much a Travis maneuver. It was like, because when I met him at High Sierra, it's funny, Zoo People was playing, and our stage, it was generator powered, and the power went out like 16 times during our set. And every time the power would go out, it was like drum solo.
The whole scope of the band changed when he joined. You know, where I was trying to fill out the blanks and be a percussionist and a drummer at the same time in some songs. My playing got simpler since he joined. I'm just doing the thing now, trying to be like, I feel like we need a clean skeleton more than ever before, so trying to just lock it down as opposed to being a flop fest.
I was really loving thinking about getting back into the jam world, because I had done so much studio stuff, being kind of like a backup musician for other artists, which I love. All that stuff is really good. But there was something when I sat in with them, like in LA, all of a sudden you get that sort of immediate feedback again, which is so you never get that in the studio. When they first sent me all the CDs to learn songs, well, what song should I practice? I was so used to playing like the same set night after night, and all of a sudden I just get like, I think about 200 songs and I'm like, the way I am about it, I think I still have that folder too. I like charted out every song. That whole first year, there's so many times I'm like looking out in the audience and they all know the song so much better than me. I'm like, ah.
We brought all these different influences together. We weren't just a bluegrass band because we had a drummer, which is, you know, Travis played a lot of hand percussion back then, and then it kind of just grew from there. And then I remember when we got our first couple gigs in the Front Range, when we got our first Fox gig, and we started to see that, oh, we could actually take this variety of music that we're playing, very much inspired by, like, you know, a lot of our musical heroes, whether it be Grateful Dead or Fish or Leftover Salmon was like one of our big like heroes back then.
The different tastes, it can make for a pretty interesting show where it jumps around a lot, but people seem to be able to stay tuned into it all.
It gives us a niche, it gives us, and it's our signature, it is, and we're kind of staking our claim to these types of music that really moved all of us, and trying to put them all on stage at the same show.
Everybody's got other influences in the band. I guess my other influences, aside from bluegrass, are closer to bluegrass. It can be weird at times, but we chosen to try to incorporate everybody's different musical ideas.
I mean, that's we've kind of the whole time saying yes to whatever somebody wanted to check out was kind of just the idiom, or the groove we got into.
If Mike and Travis and Jason have this thing where they're a little more into EDM and stuff like that, then we start doing these electronic fiddle tunes. So I'll bring in a tune and I'll say, here's this fiddle tune, let's check it out. It's called The Star of Munster. And Jason will say, oh, we should do that like Bollywood style. And then it becomes like an electronic song, but the core of it is this Irish fiddle tune. So there's a way that we can take two different worlds, mesh them together and create something that's interesting.
Favorite collaborations from me, probably some of the keyboard players. Bill Payne from Little Feat, great guy. Bruce Hornsby, Kool and the Gang was one of my favorites actually, because we could just lay down the funk the best we could with them. There's been so many. I think that was part of the idea behind the incident, was that every show is different. And so our management kept saying, how can we push that angle? For a while, we had like different incidents at every show where we would have like circus people come between the sets, and they would do like, great, like swallow swords for real or eat fire. And so that would be the incident. And so then they said, well, let's try musical incidents. And then that just took off immediately, playing with all these incredible players. And I was just saying the other day, it's kind of a little bit full circle. I've been playing with some other people, newer people in this scene, and it feels like they're like, whoa, we get to play with, the guys from String Cheese. And when it was us saying that to, Sam Bush and all those people, oh my God, we have to play with Sam Bush and Bela Fleck, no way.
laughing in the treetops. Hard to see who's wrong and who is right. Coming to the point now. Forest blocks the light of day. On this pathway, we must make a choice now. Stick together, going a separate way.
There's probably a reason we're not doing the Taylor Swift incident. I'm not sure she really needs us to draw more fans, but